We're getting into chapter 14 of Genesis. Let's get it going. Guys, before I get this video started, I just want to leave a little video to let you know it was kind of done in a hurry. I haven't been able to get them out as much, so I mispronounce a lot of names. I do get confused a little bit. Just give me a little bit of grace, but I hope you get some knowledge out of it, and I hope it helps. So enjoy my video. Hi, and welcome back to my channel, Unmuted Grace. Today we're going to read in Genesis 14, and this is when Abram rescues Lot. So let's get into it. Okay, so at the time when Amphrael was king of Shinar, Arioch king of Elasar, and Kedorlaomer king of Elam, and Tidal king of Goyim, these kings went to war against Bera, the king of Sodom, Birsha king of Gomorrah, Shebnab king of Admah, Sherab king of Zeboim, and king of Bela, that is Zor. So what we have is an alliance of 4 kings that went to war with 5 kings. All these latter kings joined forces in the valley of Siddim, which is the Dead Sea. For 12 years they had been subject to Kedorlaomer, but in the 13th year they rebelled. In the 14th year, Kedorlaomer, had to look how to pronounce that, and the kings allied with him went out and defeated the Rephaites in Ashtaroth, Karaman, and Zuzites in Ham, the Emites in Shavak, Kirkham, and Horites in the hill country of Seir, as far as El Paran near the desert. So the different spelling, but the same person, is from Hebrew translations. And I apologize if I can't get these. They're pretty hard words to translate. Then they turned back and went to En Mishap, that is Kadesh, and they conquered the whole territory and the Amaleks, as well as the Amorites who were living in the Hazezon Tamar. Then the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, and the king of Admah, the king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, that is Zor, marched out and drew up their battle lines in the valley of Siddim against Kedorlaomer, king of Elam, Tidal, king of Goyim, Amphrael, king of Shinar, and Arioch, king of Ellasar. 4 kings against 5. Now the valley of Siddim was full of tar pits, and when the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, some of them fell into the tar pits when they fled to the hills. So the tar pits were used to waterproof boats, sealing buildings, and even embalming practices. So it shows how vulnerable the position in the military was. Tar pits are deep, sticky deposits of natural asphalt, a thick tar that came from the earth. So as you see, their plan failed. It kind of backfired on them. The 4 kings seized all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their food. Then they went away. They also carried off Abram's nephew Lot and his possessions, since he was living in Sodom. A man who escaped came and reported to Abram the Hebrew. Now Abram was living near the tree of Mamre an Amorite, a brother of Eshcol and Aner, all whom were allied with Abram. When Abram heard that this relative had been taken captive, he called out to 318 trained men born in his household and went in pursuit as far as Dan. So this is actually showing his wealth, because he had 318 men born in his household. So he had loyalty, organization, preparation, faith in action, and wealthy. During the night, Abram divided his men to attack, and then he routed them, pursuing them as far as Hobab, north of Damascus. He recovered all the goods and brought back his relative Lot and his possessions, together with the women and other people. After Abram returned from defending Kedorlaomer and the kings allied with him, and the king of Sodom came out to meet him in the valley of Shaveh, that is the king's valley, and it means king of righteousness. Then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was a priest of the Most High, and he blessed Abram, saying, "Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, and praise be to God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hands." So he was showing Abram hospitality and prophetic peace, covenant, and fellowship. And he also was a king and a priest, which normally was forbidden. So this is the only time, I think, in the Genesis that he is mentioned. But, okay, Melchizedek, his name's Melchizedek. He suddenly appears and blesses Abram and then disappears from the narrative. Some theologians see this as a foreshadowing of the Messiah priesthood and the Last Supper, where Jesus, the true high priest, offers bread and wine as a symbol of his blood and body. Then Abram gave him a tenth of everything. The king of Sodom said to Abram, "Give me the people and keep the goods for yourself." So honor and recognition and honors God's role is Abram's success to a spiritual response. It's a spiritual-led offering, not commanded. It's pretty fascinating if you want to read up more on this role. So he did give him a 10% as a spiritual response. He wasn't commanded to do it. He wasn't asked to do it. He just chose to do it. It's more like an offering. But Abram said to the king of Sodom, "With raised hand I have sworn an oath to the Lord God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, that I will accept nothing belonging to you, not even a thread or the strap of a sandal, so that you will never be able to say, 'I have made Abram rich.' I will accept nothing but what my men have eaten, and a share that belongs to the men who are with me, to Ener, Eshcol, and Mamre. They can have their share." So he allowed his allies to keep what was given, and to take their share, because they did join in battle and it was their fair share, and it was reward for their risk and effort. Abram isn't putting his personal convictions on the other people, which shows his fairness and humility. So that's it. We're already done with that chapter, and I wrote some questions. Just kind of reflect on them. Just kind of something to think about until our next video. So what does Abram's response to Lot's capture reveal about his character? How does Abram's title reflect his understanding of God's role in his victory? How does Abram's treatment of his allies model fairness? And does it make you reflect on any personal aspects of your life? So what we're seeing is Melchizedek's bread and wine, and Abram's refuses of Sodom's riches. So Abram returns from battle, having rescued Lot and defeated the powerful kings. He's met by two figures, Melchizedek, the king of Salem and priest of God Most High, and the king of Sodom, a symbol of worldly compromise. Melchizedek offers bread and wine, a foreshadowing of Christ's communion, and blesses Abram. In response, Abram gives a tenth of everything. But when the king of Sodom offers riches, Abram refuses, declaring that only God will be credited for its success. Now, I also wonder, I think that goes to the point of he refused it so that he couldn't say that he was part of it, that he helped him in any way, that he didn't want him to take credit for it. This moment reveals at Abram's heart, he's not just a warrior, but a worshiper. He recognizes that victory and provision come from God alone. His tithe isn't a transaction, it's a declaration. So when you're tithing at church, or when you're offering, whatever your belief may be, are you doing it as a declaration to, here's for my Lord, here's for my God? Or are you doing it like the Pharisees, where you're just like, another checkbox off my list of things to do? Or are you giving it with here you go, Lord, this is what you have given me, so I'm giving back. Now, this lesson is not going to be about tithing, but it's just a reflection question about offering and tithing. We're not going to go deep into that because I know there's debated things. I have my personal convictions about it, so we're going to say, I'm just going to end it on that. I hope you found this chapter helpful, and join me in the next chapter when we see the Lord's covenant with Abram. Bye!